Max, founder and creative director of Nyan Heroes. Tell me, what problem are you guys solving?
We really have the potential to be this first sort of Web3 based game that's been able to get traction and positive sentiment, not only from Web3 gamers, but actually traditional gamers through this pre-alpha experience. We were overwhelmingly surprised by the positive reception, not only by the creators, but also by their audience and their viewers. What I think we have right now is a really compelling story to be a strong first mover in this space and in being that kind of breakout title that comps with traditional big competitive titles like the Valorants and the Overwatches and the Apex Legends out there.
Tell me, what kind of traction has Nyan Heroes seen so far?
When it comes to traction, we've had over 1 million registered users for our campaign. Wow. We've logged over 550,000 unique active wallets on our website dashboard. We've had over 13 million missions completed, which is split between our web missions and our game missions. We're in the top 5 most wish-listed games on the Epic Store, and this is, against all the traditional titles, and I don't think there's any Web3 game that's kind of on the radar, at least as far as I'm aware. And in just 1 week of our pre-alpha, we've clocked in over 200,000 hours played since going live. So, I mean, those are some pretty crazy numbers. We definitely didn't expect that, but we got some hardcore grinders out there.
How do you guys think about what makes Nyan Heroes unique? What is the competitive advantage over here?
We define ourselves as a movement shooter, and it leans into our cat IP. The overall vision is, what would movement be like if you had the freedom and agility of a cat? And we've kind of built all of these unique movement mechanics into the game as the player controls them, and it's super fluid, it's super responsive, and it kind of ties in with the cat identity and the verticality of our levels, right? And this is our take on a unique last stand mechanic. And then we have a really in-depth weapon/ability system that we call Augments. It's a dynamic ability system where your ability changes depending on your primary weapon loadout that you come in with. Our pacing is completely different from Overwatch. It's a much faster paced game. Our TTK is much shorter. And then with these unique sort of game mechanics that I described before, it's a completely different experience.
How will the token function within your game?
Our token economy is built on top of a traditional free-to-play monetization model. A lot of our core monetization systems are actually built upon traditional free-to-play with in-app purchase models. And we also know that these are the models that traditional gamers are most easily going to be onboarded through. They don't want to see these wallets, they don't want to see seed phrases, they want to purchase tokens as part of their initial experience. So we're making that an optional part of our game experience that sits on top of our core sort of Web 2 model. Now, for the Web 3 natives out there, or for the curious players in the Web 2 ecosystem, they can participate in our token sort of mechanic, our reward system, our incentive flywheel by purchasing a token, using that to convert a regular game asset into an on-chain awakened game asset. And in doing so, it'll provide that player access to our NFT gated rewards loops through initially token emissions, but eventually through revenue generated by our traditional user player base.
Can you tell us anything else about your tokenomics?
Our investors have initial unlock at TGE and then a 9-month cliff where all tokens are held up, and then a linear vest after that. So there's a good amount of tokens that are locked up in the investor vesting pool. And same goes for the team. We have a longer cliff than investors, and we don't have any unlocks at all at token launch. So it's a 0% unlock at TG, it's a 12-month cliff, and then vesting over 4 years thereafter. 15% of the tokens are allocated to the team, 30% allocated to the community, and 10% are allocated to the ecosystem fund. We have a decent amount of tokens allocated to investors simply because game development is quite often a capital intensive process. So 30% so far. And of course, we had a brutal bear market where we had to make sure that we were well capitalized to develop the rest of the game. And then we have some reserve pools, like about a 7% reserve pool. So the initial circulating supply on launch will be 10.8%. That includes liquidity provision.
God, nice and clear. Yeah, that's great. Why should Nyan Heroes be on the LFG Launchpad?
It's because of the IP crossover. Beyond that, there's a lot of reasons why we're a good fit. Obviously, the J.U.P community is probably one of the strongest communities on Solana. We're already talking with the Solana Foundation. We're working closely with them. They have their gaming initiative, and we're one of the flagship games in that initiative. As part of our Web3 integration, we do have these governance systems, having our players make decisions and shape the way that certain aspects of our game play out. And so I think we also have a lot to potentially learn from this partnership as well. Hopefully we can build some of those systems that you guys have been iterating on into our pipeline eventually.
If Max has got you excited about Nyan Heroes, head on over to the Jupiter Research Forum, read their full proposal, go into Discord to listen to their AMA and see what other people are asking them. And then, of course, get ready to vote, vote.jup.ag. The vote is coming up this month. We'll see you there. Thanks.